I'm Eric Espinoza-Wade. I teach a few different subjects, but generally they're related to dynamics and control systems. So that includes our mechatronics course, that includes our system dynamics course, our undergraduate dynamics intro course, and our advanced mechatronics course. So my research is focused on technologies for human assistance, and specifically that's focused on people who have some kind of a neurological disorder. So really I'm designing technologies to help people who've had a stroke, or Parkinson's disease, or some other neurodegenerative disease have better quality of life. This usually means social robotics, a little bit of social agent and programming design, and a lot of wearable sensing design as well. So this is an example of one of the robots that we use. As I mentioned, the goal is to put these robots in a home setting, and depending on the population, they may have different functionality. So you can see this robot has a relatively big head, kind of a cute shape. It's meant to work with children. And this robot is specifically designed to help children with reading issues. The concept of the robot already existed in our lab. However, our senior design group, one of our interdisciplinary senior design groups, designed this version. And what the robot does is essentially, you don't see a phone here now, but it holds a cell phone. So whoever's using this, they can just use their own cell phone. And depending on the capability of the child, the age of the child, there will be an age-appropriate reading passage. So the child is asked to read the passage. The robot is listening to what the child says. The robot will then query the child. So it will ask the child, according to the passage, what was the first state visited by some person? And the child will then respond. The robot's able to determine contingently how it should respond. So when the child responds positively, the robot will make a face and move its appendages, move its arms, and move its antenna here. So the idea for this system is there's a certain physical construction required for children of certain ages to be able to interact with this and not knock it over. As you can see, the head is larger. There's a lot of electronics that we put low in the base, so the students had to do some basic level static analysis and some dynamic analysis for when the arms are moving to ensure that the robot would remain stable. And then with respect to the interaction, again, there are certain dynamics of the interaction. So the child is expected to be reading for some fixed amount of time, to be responding to questions for some fixed amount of time. The robot needs to be providing feedback for some fixed amount of time. So in that sense, we can model the student as what we call a finite state machine, which is essentially a way of modeling the potential inputs and outputs that the child might provide, whether that's reading or whether that's verbalizing. And then we can model the robot in response to those inputs and outputs. So again, this kind of two layers of dynamic and static analysis comes into play with the physical design of the robot, but also the nature of the interaction that it has with the child.